lot of my students ask me, teach me how to play the Crusader. But today I'm gonna teach you how to become a god.
Hello guys, Oroth here and a warm welcome back to my channel. And as you can see, I'm back as Crusader because we have some new very exciting essences, and we're gonna show a very cool build for dungeons that's also superb against single target. And what I'm so happy to announce is that we are once again using the fire banner. And yeah, before we dive into the build, I also urge you to join my Discord server. I'm gonna link to it in the description. On that server, I often post builds in advance before making a video. There are also tons of people there who has great knowledge about the game, so if you have any type of questions, there will always be someone there to answer them. And on top of that, you can also read about my one-to-one sessions, where we go through your entire setup and I help you to set up everything perfectly. You can both read about it and read reviews, so please feel free to join the Discord server. It's a really nice community. But enough said about that, let us dive into this build. And I'm gonna start by showing you the skills I'm using. As primary attack, I nowadays use Punish instead of Sacred Fire. I use Draw and Quarter, I use Judgment, and here we can see the return of the Holy Banner, and I also use Condemn. If we look on the set pieces, we can see that I use 4 pieces of Agmets, both for the prolonged burn effects, but also for the extra dot effects from the 4-piece effect. I also use Feasting Baron, and I also use Vitus Urge. Baron will give me more harmful effect duration, which is great for Crusader because we use a lot of dots that we resolute with Torrential Refrain. And of course, Vitus Urge 2 pieces is a staple for every build in this game, so you must use it for extra beneficial effect duration. If we move on here and take a look at the essences, in the helmet slot I use the fire banner, and this has now made a return, and I'm gonna explain to you why in just a little bit. But the fire banner creates this circle, and whenever you or an ally within this circle deal damage with your primary attack, you will also apply a dot effect. And it also works with summons, so it's really good. If we move on here and take a look at the chest slot, I use Heart of Grandeur. This is nothing new. What it does is that whenever we use this Condemn skill, we get this circle, and any enemy within this circle will take a tick of damage every second. And what's so good as well is that we have combined it with the Torrential Refrain here in the second offhand slot. And yeah, whenever an enemy gets hit by Condemn, it will resolve all the remaining dot damage at once. So this is nothing new, this is a staple for most Crusader builds. If we move on here, we can see that I use the Yawning Rose. This is still very strong. It turns Judgment into this circle that applies fire dots to the target. That is super strong. So yeah, we still need to use this shoulder. In the pants slot, I use Galloping Brilliance. And yeah, this is a very popular horse. It's probably even better to use the Dash horse from Bygone Eidolon pants, but this is a little bit more chill to use because you don't have to dash all the time. So yeah, you can choose yourself what you prefer. Here we have a new essence in the first main hand slot. It's called Soul Purge. And what it says is that Punish also shatters enemy armor, increasing their damage taken by 7.6% for 1.5 seconds. And this can stack up to 3 times, so up to 22.8%. And this is the reason why we nowadays use Punish instead of Sacred Fire. And what's so good about it as well is that it will not only affect your own damage, it will also buff all of your teammates. I also deal more damage solo with the new Punish compared to the old Sacred Fire. So yeah, very nice that we have some essences that will increase our damage for sure. We can also see here in the first offense slot that I used a new shield called Loretta's Banner. And what it says is that a Holy Banner also increases your and your allies' damage by 6.4% for each ally within the banner, and this can stack up to 4 times. And this will both work with your teammates in a party and your summons. And that's why we, for example, are using the Echoing Shade, because it syncs very well with both this offhand and the Fire Banner helmet. So very good. We can also see here that we have slotted in the observer, and what it says is that enemies struck by punish take 19% increased damage from subsequent hits for 2 seconds, and this effect can stack up to 3 times, so up to 57%. And yeah, I already mentioned that we use the torrential refrain in the second offhand slot. So we have a bunch of new essences here, and I'm so glad that we can once again use the fire banner. Of course, we also have to take a look here at the legendary gems I'm using, and I understand that not everyone have high rank 5-star gems like I do. If you don't have that, you can swap in a lot of strong 1-star gems and 2-star gems. For example, Misery Elixir is super strong. You have Berserker's Eye, you have Spectre Glass, you have Pain Clasp, you have Fervent Fang. There are so many great options that you can use, so feel free to experiment. But let us still take a look at my setup here. I use Blood-Soaked Jade, I use Bottled Hope, I use Colossus Engine, Blood Flow, Roiling Consequence, Seeping Bile, Echoing Shade, and I also use Haunt Coil. And there are maybe 2 choices here that are a little bit more interesting, and that is the Seeping Bile and the Echoing Shade. I use the Seeping Bile because it gives a very strong and potent dot effect. And nowadays I have become so strong that I can burst down the bosses in a challenge dungeon so fast, so that I actually gain a lot from using this Seeping Bile compared to a damage modifier, for example. Most of you, I would recommend to maybe use Spectre Glass or something that increases your damage instead of the Seeping Bile, but in my case it works very well. I can also show this Echoing Shade. I already told you why it's so good. Some of you might not recognize this gem from before. This used to be a staple in my Crusader builds when we were using the fire banner. Whenever we use a skill or the primary attack, we can get these clones. You can see here that I have this guy following me now that looks exactly like me, very handsome. And whenever he is within the banner area, he will give me more damage buff from the Loretta's banner. And for example, if I use the horse and I ride far ahead from my teammates, I can get the full effect from this Loretta's banner, even if I have no party members nearby, thanks to the Echoing Shade. And as I already mentioned, all of those clones will also apply fire dots from the fire banner, so it's really cool. And it's also nice when you have handsome people following you, which is yeah, it's very good, of course. And yeah, that's the legendary gems I'm using. We're of course also gonna take a look here at the Paragon settings. If you want to deal the most damage, probably this slinger option that I have here is great if you're using the light horse. But if you switch to the dash horse, maybe you can use this Harbinger setup instead. It's also really good. And on top of that, you can, if you need more materials, you can use the Vanquisher here and use Treasure Find and Lucky, etc. So yeah, there are many different options here. But yeah, for the light horse, I'm using this slinger setup. And we're gonna do a dummy test here before we dive into a dungeon, but I of course also have to mention that this build is really strong, not only because it helps you to deal a lot of damage, but it will also help your teammates to deal a lot of damage. And that is thanks to this new main hand and this new offhand. So we will both apply an armor break to the target whenever we use punish, and we will also get this damage buff from the banner, so all your teammates within the banner area will deal more damage thanks to this offhand. And of course I have to mention that this main hand will only work if you're not on your horse, because you cannot use punish while you are on your horse. So what I usually do is that I try to time it so that when I fight the bosses I don't get on my horse, because I want to apply this soul perch effect. So yeah, you will see that when we are running dungeons later in this video, where I will show you how to play the build. It's fairly simple, to be honest. But yeah, before doing so, let us do a dummy test here. And yeah, let us just attack it and see how it goes. And I can tell you already that I deal a lot of damage with this build, approximately 3 billion damage per minute. So this is stronger than anything I've ever showcased before on my channel. And yeah, it's just really strong. And yeah, we don't have to go the full minute here, but I deal approximately 3 billion damage in 1 minute. And on the boss dummy I deal approximately 2 billion damage in 1 minute. Enough said about the build. I think that it's time to jump into a dungeon and see what it looks like. And I hope that you have fun if you try it out. And of course, join my Discord server or ask me any questions here in the comment section. Let us now take a look at the dungeon run. And here we find ourselves in the Forgotten Tower, and I'm actually gonna run this solo because I want to showcase how much damage I can deal against the boss using this setup. And yeah, what I do when I enter a dungeon is that I immediately get on the horse and I just activate my skills, so it's very easy to play. And optimally here, I want to have the fire banner active while I'm fighting the boss, so sometimes I'm not using the fire banner if I know that it might mess up the rotation, because I want it to be active while I'm attacking the boss, of course. And in the best case I would also be off the horse, which I wasn't against that boss, because if I'm off the horse I can also apply the punish armor break from the new main hand. But yeah, we know that the Crusaders are very strong in dungeons. We have these huge AoE effects that will kill everything everywhere at once. We have the torrential refrain offhand that will resolve all the dot effects that we are applying, and we are applying a lot of them when we play the Crusader. And yeah, you can see that I can clear these dungeons super fast. And this is not because I'm high resonance or anything, it's because the build is very strong. I have also very good stats on my magical attributes and things like that, and my reforges. So anyone can deal tons of damage as a Crusader. And if you are like 2,000 or 3,000 resonance, you can deal more damage than most whales if you just build correctly. But let us now see if we are able to kill this boss fast enough. And it's important now to wait to use the buffs until just before the battle starts. And I hope that we can kill it fast enough, because it's quite difficult when we're fighting a boss if it's... Oh, he's already dead. Well, I guess we can say that this is a strong build then. Anyways, I hope you liked this video, and until next time I want to wish you a very nice day or a very nice evening wherever you are. And to all of my clan members in Nyx, I would also like to say Voruk Nyx, Sholak Sol. So, bye bye!
If a boy or if a girl,
Subscribe to Oro's channel.
let him take you to his world.
Subscribe to Oro's channel.
The best choice you will ever make.
Subscribe to Oro's channel.
Hit the bell, a piece of cake.
Subscribe to Oro's channel.
Let me tell you one more time. Subscribe to Oro's channel. All the answers you shall find.
Subscribe.